Good morning. It is October the 8th, 2018. My name is Crystal Kelly, and today I will be doing biochemical testing for microbial identification, carbohydrate, and fermentation testing. Now, as always, have on your personal protective equipment, wipe down your workstation before and after your experiment. And today I'm going to have my tea can on my lighter. I'm going to have 6 tubes containing phenol red broth. They're going to look like this, but I've already done the experiment, so they've already changed in color. You're going to have your active culture broth vials. So this one right here is S. epidermis, and this here is my yeast sample. You're going to have a cup of alcohol with your 2 pipettes soaking in it. And you'll also need your glucose vial, mannitol vial, and fructose vial. So with each of the testing tubes, what you want to do, because it's 6 of them, you're going to label 3 of them with the S. epidermis and the rest with the yeast. And you're going to label them numbers 1 through 3. So with the first one, with number 1 for the yeast and number 1 for the epidermis, you just want to make sure that you pour this glucose sample into the tubes. And before you pour the glucose samples in the tubes, you also just want to sterilize the tops of the tubes with your tea candle and your lighter. So just make sure that you're running your tubes over your tea candle and your lighter. And after that process, you're going to take your glucose, you're going to pour half into each sample. You're going to do the same with the rest of the samples. So with your glucose sample, with your fructose sample, you're going to pour half into epidermis, half into the yeast, and last but not least, do the same thing for your mannitol. You're going to pour half into your epidermis and half into your yeast. Now, after you do that, you're going to incubate your tubes. Just make sure that they're in a dark area, free from ventilation, and in the proper temperature. So I did that for about 12 hours with my tubes, and when I observed them, I did not see a color change. So after I incubated them for 6 more hours, for a total of 18 hours, I did have some reactions. And this is the samples I have for you today. So I'm not sure if you can see it with my cam, but this is the yeast sample, and the tube is in there. There's no fermentation. It did change in color, so there was fermentation, but however, there is no gas bubbles, so there's no, it only did fermentation with acid. And I received the same examples for all of my tubes. I received fermentation for all of them, but no gas bubbles for them. Some of them, the tubes are even floating above the water. I'm just showing you each example. This one is the S. epidermis with the fructose. And last but not least, this is my yeast sample with my mannitol. Same thing, fermentation with no gas bubbles. And last but not least, this is the S. epidermis. Same thing here, no gas bubbles. So with my experiment, I did conclude that both the yeast and the S. epidermis had fermentation, acid production with no gas bubbles. And I hope that you enjoyed my experiment. Have a great day.